Is this it? Yes. Okay. All right. Let's watch it.
In Final Fantasy XIV, you've got a bunch of jobs to choose from, and I've already made a video talking about that. Problem is, now everything is completely different. So, here I am again with all of the Shadowbringers jobs to help you pick what you want to play. You've got your tanks, including one new guy. They're the ones fearlessly charging headfirst into danger's way. And luckily, Shadowbringers made that even more straightforward. Simply turn your tank stance on, and you are now tanking. Turn it off, and you aren't. Wow.
That's
Speaking
easy.
of danger, these are the healers.
Okay.
Always be nice to them. You don't want to know what happens when they get angry. Oh, thank you. No, that's not what I meant.
Was that a life grip?
Shadowbringers gave the healers a super special power big heal mode. The melee DPS are here to cry about mechanics that keep them away from the boss.
That's true.
In Shadowbringers,
It's
they
very
gave
true.
the melee 2 free, I don't need positional anymore buttons. But they still complain. And these are the casters. They go big shooty boom boom magic. What did they get in Shadowbringers? More big shooty booms. The ranged can run around without any loss of DPS, and they've got a new friend who everybody loves. Except the other ranged. Anyway, let's go look at the jobs. Dark Knight. It uses a big-ass sword. Play this job if you want to use a big-ass sword. It's got a special stance you got to keep up, obviously called the dark side. You keep this up by using Edge of Shadow and Flood of Shadow, of course.
That's
and
badass.
You can even reach inside your soul and take out your inner darkness, and he can fight along with you.
That's so badass,
mode,
dude.
Delirium, where you can spam heavy-hitting attacks like Blood Spiller or Quietus, which otherwise would cost Blood Gauge. Yeah, it's got a blood gauge. For mitigation, it has the Blackest Night, which is a shield you put on yourself and lets you use a blood gauge ability for free if it breaks. And its invincibility is called Living Dead, which you activate it first and then you have to die. Once you die, then you're Walking Dead and you're actually kind of not dead. But somebody has to heal you up to full, otherwise you really do die. Gunbreaker. These guys were the personal guards of Queen Gunhilda herself.
How the fuck does that work?
I don't know.
Okay, it's like, it's like purgatory. Oh, I see. I see.
You
okay.
also were like, I really like DPS. It's got a 3-part combo, but it actually has a separate 3-part combo inside of another 3-part combo.
Okay, yeah, we're not playing this. This is complicated.
It has a powder gauge with cartridges in it. The regular
fuck
combo
this, dude.
will earn you cartridges.
It's way too
and
much.
You can spend the cartridges in order to do the special 1-2-3 combo. So it's very clicky. It's a very clicky, fun job. Its invincibility is called Superbolide. Basically, you shoot yourself, and now you can't get hurt anymore, because if I hurt myself, the enemies can't hurt me. Paladin. It's got a sword and a shield. To be a Paladin is to be protection itself. Paladin is really good at party utility and helping your friends not die. It's got a...
Do you think we could get McConnell to play Paladin? I mean, the game literally has Paladins in it. And it seems like that's basically the way that Paladins are supposed to work, right? I mean, I think that's pretty accurate. Yeah, this is exactly what he's going for. I'll be your Paladin, bro. Yeah, there it is.
Physical damage phase and a magical damage phase. During your physical phase, you've got a damage buff, and then you've got a dot combo, and then a regular combo that will unlock a heavy-hitting attack called Royal Authority. And this you can use 3 times in a row. Then you go into your magical phase, where you can attack at ranged with heavy-hitting magic attacks, and a big AoE attack again, Confiteor. You've got the wings to protect your entire party. You can also heal yourself or heal a target, and its invincibility is Hallowed Ground, which just makes you straight up invincible. You can't get hurt. Warrior, it smashes. It's got an axe, and it smashes with the axe. Warrior doesn't care about mitigating damage. They're just all about, hit me anyway. I can take it. Just hit me. It's got 2 combos. One that applies a damage buff, and one that builds its wrath gauge more. It's got a special mode, Inner Release, that allows it to spam the heavy-hitting attacks like Fell Cleave or Decimate. Both the single target and AoE attacks can be enhanced when you first use Infuriate to augment them. Warrior is all about building up the gauge so you can use it on attacks to just smash more. It's got a fun mitigation
so it's like
called
Rage.
Vengeance.
It's literally like
hit,
Rage.
But then you just slap them right back. Or it can increase its HP even more because above 100k health isn't enough. Its invincibility is called Home Gang, where you tether to an enemy and now your HP can't go below 1. Samurai.
What the
they
fuck?
wield a katana
That's badass.
and offer 0 party utility. besides their big damage. Samurai's core rotation works around 3 separate combos. Each time you finish a combo, you earn a sticker, or otherwise known as a sen. You spend these sen on powerful iaijutsu moves, and the move changes depending on how many stickers you had when you use it. If you use it with 1,
the samurai one's pretty cool.
With 2, you get an AoE attack in front of you.
Yeah, the samurai one's badass.
Heavy-hitting single target attack. It also has another resource called Kenki.
I like this a lot.
You use on heavy-hitting attacks. You notice a lot of these are heavy-hitting attacks. It's because all of Samurai's attacks do it. Shadowbringers gave Samurai even more big attacks, like Shoha, an attack you can only use when you gather up 3 meditate stacks. It also has 2 separate AoE combos and overall flows very well from one combo to the next, building up your resources and spending them. Monk.
That's badass.
These guys are all about throwing away the weapons, and instead your body is the weapon. Monk has 2 combos.
Yeah, this one's
Sounds
dumb.
Straightforward.
Yeah, this is dumb. The samurai was cool.
This one requirement. Every single one. All the other melees only have a handful of positionals. Monk takes that and says, "I want all of them." Shadowbringers also gave Monk a 4th Grease Lightning stack, which makes them attack even faster and harder than before.
Yeah,
it
the
builds
thing
up a
is,
resource called Chakra that it can
why
use.
would you punch something if you could literally use a weapon? It just doesn't make any sense to me, man.
On a single target attack or a ranged attack, and other buffs that mostly work around its 2 separate combos. It does really high damage, but still offers some party utility with a physical damage buff to the party. Dragoon. It uses a spear. They kill dragons, and the reason why they're so sharp is because even if a dragon eats them, they can still kill the dragon on the way out. Dragoon also has 2 combos, but instead these are longer combos. Most of the other physical jobs in the game are 3-part combos. Dragoon is 5. It's a very static rotation that you're going to do one combo and then the other combo, and you're always going to stick to that, but it has a whole lot of off global cooldowns that you're going to use in between them to keep it interesting. It centers around keeping up a buff called Blood of the Dragon. However, when you collect 2 Eyes of the Dragon and you activate Ger Skogul, you unlock Life of the Dragon, where you glow red instead, and you unlock even more powerful heavy-hitting attacks, including Stardiver. It's got a bunch of different jump attacks that range from jumping to the opponent.
Yeah, this is really cool, man.
Or jumping over to the opponent, or jumping away completely.
I just like the armor. I think that's the best thing. The armor's cool.
Party utility, like a crit buff to everybody, and it can tether to a friend and give their pal an extra damage buff.
That's actually really cool.
Do you know Naruto?
Ninja?
Well, me either. Ninja's got a really cool mechanic called ninjutsu. You have 3 ninjutsu abilities, which, depending on the order you push them in, will change the attack that it performs. You have things like an attack speed buff, or an AoE on the ground that looks like dirt. Shadowbringers added a cool effect where you can augment some of the ninjutsu abilities. If you use Kasatsu before activating them, it'll change your fire breath into a huge fire tornado, or it'll change your ice breath into water shurikens like Greninja. You also can tap into your secret Hokage arts and activate
that's
Bushin,
badass.
which will be a
that's
shadow
actually really
of
cool.
yourself, and it will mimic every attack that you do.
Okay.
It's also got a really good party buff called Trick Attack, which will make the target take extra damage from the entire party. Ninja has a lot of interesting mechanics to its toolkit that goes beyond just simple combos.
So they actually have like party utility.
An extra brain cell to remembering what ninjutsu does what.
Yeah, this is complicated.
Machinist is what you would get if you combined a cowboy with a Gundam with a Terminator. This is the range with the highest damage and the one with the least amount of RNG in the rotation. And I don't really have to say any more about it because you can summon a freaking mech. And while you're doing all of your attacks, you're overheating. You go into your overheat gauge. You're spamming your cool abilities that give you your cooldown.
Bro, this is like this comes out of like a 2000s anime, man. This is awesome. Yeah, I like this a lot. That's badass.
Like a freaking man, and your mech is over there punching shit. Oh, and you have a flamethrower. Need I say more, really? I mean, for AoE, you got some other cool stuff like overheat will now actually be a crossbow instead. You got a drill that you shoot out like a Giga Drill Breaker, and you have a special button that makes it guarantee a crits.
Yeah,
that's
really cool.
Is now superheated mode always. This job is all about balancing your battery gauge and your heat gauges to use all of your cool special boom explodey powers.
You have 2 gauges.
This is the job with the bow and arrow. Every MMO has one. This is ours. But not only can you shoot arrows, you can also sing songs and help your party members do things.
What?
And its rotation is in the middle ground of a static rotation with an RNG rotation. It cycles through 3 different song modes, and each song has a different effect on your rotation. Mostly you're keeping your dots up and spamming burst shot for procs on refulgent arrow. You've also also got a new gauge called the Soul
That's
Gauge,
how hunters
which is
used to work
on
in WoW.
Apex Arrow, and it does more damage the higher the gauge is. For utility, you've got stuff
Phobia,
like a
thank
heal
you for
buff
5
or
gifted
damage
subs. I
buff
appreciate
or
that. Thank
remove
you.
a bad thing on somebody, and of course a party damage reduction. Dancer.
This one
is
seems
the new guy. It uses chakrams that it
What
throws
the
around
fuck?
and kills its enemies with belly dancing. It has the
What?
lowest personal DPS, but it can super buff its dance partner. It
Lowest personal DPS, but can super buff. So this is the equivalent of an enhancement shaman, right? So like, there's obviously a partner that it plays with. It's a support class. Yeah, this is an enhancement shaman in Burning Crusade. They effectively give you Wind Fury Totem. Is that right?
has 2 separate dances.
It's
and
a
when
cut
you activate
class?
one, you go through steps like a Simon Says game. Standard step will be an AoE attack and activate a damage boost for you and your dance partner. Technical step will be a longer step dance, but this will be a damage buff for the whole party. Its rotation is very RNG dependent. It has a 2-part combo, and each of those can proc another attack. And then each of those attacks can now proc fan attacks. And then the fan attacks can proc a final fan attack. So there's a lot of layers of RNG to the rotation. It also has a separate gauge that you use on a big hitting attack called Saber Dance. And for movement, it has 3 separate dashes that it can use.
Wait,
Black
what?
Mage. It uses a magic stick and explosions and a whole lot more explosions. This is the magic version of the selfish DPS class and specializes in longer cast times that deal super high damage with the trade-off that you're trying to minimize your overall movement. Black Mage's rotation goes through an ice phase where it regenerates mana and a fire phase where it spends all of its mana on the really heavy hitting attacks.
That's cool.
Shadowbringers added a finisher to the fire phase called Despair. Black Mage has a continuous
I actually think this is like, it's cool, but like, I don't think that the mage shit is as cool as like the melee stuff, dude. 65k, that does seem like a big number, man. It definitely does.
Buff you want to keep up called Enochian, which
I could
allows
play
you
this.
to use the heavier hitting spells.
Yeah, I could try
and
this.
if you have it up long enough, it unlocks a special void-looking attack called Xenoglossy. There's now also
That did
a way
almost
to keep your
100,000
ice phase
damage
up during downtime.
Jesus.
Summoner. It uses a book, but it's not trying to be smart with it.
This is what
it's
Rich
mostly
plays.
Picture books. Summoner is our pet DPS job. There's
Okay.
Ifrit for single target, Garuda for AoE, and Titan for Summoner's rotation works on a 2-minute cycle of various phases that you go through. There's Dreadworm Trance, where you invoke Bahamut's Aether and you unleash it in a big Death Flare attack. After this, you're able to summon Bahamut and command him to do big Akmorn attacks. And after him,
how
you
did
can
they get
summon
him to go
Phoenix
over there?
to do special fire moves and
That's
heal the
Moltres.
party while it's out. Also,
Holy
2 of
shit.
your spells become super Phoenix fire moves instead. Summoner
Oh my
is also
God.
one of 2 jobs that can raise dead party members, though you either have to hard cast it or save your swift cast for it. Red Mage. It uses a sword with a focus thing attached to it. This is the job that combines black magic and white magic together in order to do magic casting while also doing physical damage as well. Red Mage is special because every other spell that it casts is instant with the dual cast trait. So you will hard cast the shorter spells and then instant cast the longer ones. You'll do this while alternating building your white and black mana.
So it's literally like Fire Mage in WoW, where you were going to you're hard casting fireballs to get a proc to fast cast a pyroblast. Yeah, okay. That's wait, it's not? It's clear casting? Like there's no proc. I know there's no proc, but like I understand the gameplay. Like the nuance to it, yes, obviously it's different, but like the gameplay is relatively the same.
Once you have enough, you can go in for the melee combo, finishing it off with either a Ver Holy or Ver Flare big attack, and then another final big attack called Scorch. Shadowbringers also added an AoE rotation.
That's kind of cool.
Thunder and Ver Arrow too, and then instant casting Impact. And
I
then
think
you
Black
have an
Mage is the
AoE
coolest one I've
melee
seen so
attack
far.
as well. Ren Mage is the only DPS with a good single target heal, and it's the other DPS that can battle raise. And because
Yeah,
of
I still
dual
think
cast,
I
you
still
can
think it's the
instant
coolest
raise
one so
people.
far.
White Mage, it uses a cane.
Is this
White
healing?
mages draw on the Aether all around them from nature in order to do really big bursty heals or regens. As for its heals, it's very straightforward. You got Cure 1 and Cure 2 for single target.
That's
You've
easy.
got Medica for AoE, Medica 2 for an AoE regen, and Cure 3 for a big AoE heal but very close around you. In Shadowbringers, they added some instant abilities that use up lilies from the lily gauge. And when you use up 3 lilies...
So every class basically has like this secondary resource that they have to manage. It's the same as like Rage or like Soul Shards in WoW or like Runic Power. Okay, when do you unlock? What level do you unlock the secondary resource? You unlock it at 60? 30, 50. Okay, so it depends, right? All right, I guess I'll get it whenever.
Unlocks Afflatus Misery, which is a huge AoE damage nuke. White Mage's oh shit ability is the wings. You sprout beautiful wings
I think
from
that's
your back,
cool.
and now everybody around you takes less damage, and all of your healing is super mode. Scholar. They use a book because they're so smart, and they want everybody else to know how smart they are.
That's so
Scholar
dumb.
specializes in
They're
shielding
so
the party
dumb.
from all the damage in the first place. And
what
it
is
the
this?
pet healer that we have in this game. For single target heals, you got Physic, a small single heal. You also have Adlo, which is a heal plus a shield on a single target.
What
and
the
you have
fuck?
Sucker for an AoE heal plus a shield. And there are a few abilities
That actually is pretty
can
good.
manipulate the shields. Emergency Tactics will change the shield into a heal. Recitation will guarantee that it crits so you can have a big shield. And Deployment Tactics will spread the shield to nearby party members.
Oh,
Change
that's
Strategy
really
is
cool.
Scholar's utility. It will raise the critical hit rate on the enemy for everybody.
That's
Scholar's
actually
other
that's
resource,
badass.
Flow, can be used on certain abilities, like an
Yeah, it's a
instant
disc
single
breeze,
target
basically.
heal, a party AoE heal,
Well, it has
and
a Swift Min
placeable
type
shield
ability.
that reduces damage taken and heals the party. Scholar's
wow.
super move is an
So that
upgraded-
shield was the Limit Breaker, right? Just because I'm assuming that's the Limit Breaker ability? No, it's not. Oh, it's something else. Okay. Okay, so you have... It's a disc spell. So you have Limit Breaker abilities, and then on top of that, you have raid cooldowns.
Fairy that does bigger shields
Watch
and
all class
healing
Limit
than
Breaker.
the
I saw
regular
it.
fairy and AoE shields. Or you could just eat your fairy and get a whole bunch of Aether Flow to spend. Astrologian. It uses a globe of stuff with cards on it. They heal by looking up at the stars and planets and sparkly things.
Wow,
They're
look
also
up
able
at the
to switch between a
stars.
shield mode
Isn't
or a
that
regen
cute?
mode, depending on which healer they're paired with. It has a normal single target heal and an aspected single target heal that either shields or regens. It's also got a party AoE or an aspected party AoE that either shields or
Aspected
regens. And
or-
then there's the whole card system, which it is able to draw upon and buff all the party members' damage. Once it gets enough different types of seals,
What is this, like Mr. Game & Watch? In Smash? Like, what do you mean the card system? It's a damage buff. Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, what? This bitch is playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In the middle of the fight, man. Oh my god. It's an RNG healer. Yeah, that's crazy.
can buff the entire party at the same time. An Astrologian's super heal move is called Neutral Sect, which will change all of your aspected spells to activate both the shield and the regen at the same time.
That's cool.
As well as buff all the heals in general. And that's it. That is all of the Shadowbringers jobs. Now keep in mind,
Those are cool.
you can play all of these jobs on the same character. That is the beauty of Final Fantasy XIV.
I think that's one of the good things about the
jobs
game.
Can do all of the content in the game, where some of them are a little bit better at certain special things. Like if you want to solo old content, you know, Red Mage or Paladin are probably a little bit better at that type of thing. So the best advice is just pick which one looks really cool to you, and you'll be more motivated to get good at it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This video will be good for a little while until the next expansion comes out and completely changes it all over again. Okay, bye.
So I want to say, like, I think that's actually one of the cooler things about it is the fact that, like, you can play everything on one class. Blue Mage, was that not on there? Yeah, I didn't even know. I have no idea. But anyway, like, yeah, I feel like the, like, you can play it all. Like, that's how WoW should be. Like, but you still level up. So, like, that's what I was saying yesterday, right? Is like this game effectively has a count-wide meta progression in the same way that I think WoW should. Except for this game just lets you play them all on the same character. That's the only difference. Because you're still using different weapons and shit like that. You're still farming it out. You're still leveling up the different things. It's just you're doing them all on one character. That's all.